This morning, when I was in meditation, I got the number 5. It was very synchronous the way it happened. And so today I'm going to be using 5 decks. 1 card from each deck. And I'm not going to do the conventional way of pick a pile. I'm going to do each pile individually right here where you can see it and see me at the same time. So I wanted you to be able to see my face while I do these readings. We're going to start off the reading today with the butterfly cards. These are oracle cards. And this is for pile number 1. Butterflies signify new life. They signify change of some sort, new beginnings. And the number 5, that's what it means, change in numerology. Flat and simple. You can dig in deeper, but that's what number 5 means. Depending on where 5 shows up, could mean other things too. But as it stands, the number 5 signifies change. And so I'm going to shuffle the butterfly oracle and pull a card for you. Didn't take long. Well, there's a bunch of them stuck together, but I'm going to take the one on the top. Pile number 1. Have you been feeling sluggish lately? Have you been feeling unmotivated? Have you been feeling like when you look in the mirror, not quite yourself? There is a change involved here. And you might not want to hear this, because I know when I get somebody that says this to me, I don't want to hear it. But part of your sluggishness has to do with making a dietary change. This is coming strictly from the intuition. And if you look at the yellow on this beautiful white butterfly, white meaning pure intention, it could be a moth. It's probably a moth, but they're like butterflies. Moths have to do with change. The yellow has to do with the solar plexus. Solar plexus is what motivates you. It is what moves you forward. If you have been feeling sluggish, you need to cut out the sugar. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you can't cut it out, at least minimize it. Have it just on the weekends as a treat, like, wow, I went this whole week without sugar. I'm going to treat myself to 1 sugar item on the weekends. Ice cream, piece of cake, piece of pie, okay? The other thing is eliminating carbs. Now, you want to eat healthy carbs. You want them. Your body needs carbs for fuel. But what happens is when you eat too many carbs, not enough vegetables, not enough fruits, what happens is, and there are, vegetables that are high in carb. So if you're coupling that with your carbs, your rice, your pasta, whatever, potatoes, you're getting too many carbs. So, maybe have potatoes once a week. The rest of the time, have a protein and have your vegetables, including your vegetables that are carbs. So start small, but you need to make some sort of dietary change and let go of those crackers, pretzels, and all of that at night for snacking. Replace that with celery, cucumbers, carrots, anything crunchy. Add a little cream cheese, add a little peanut butter, if you can eat those things. Of course, this all has to do with what you can eat and what you can't eat too. So some of you might have to morph your dietary change a little bit, but that's what this card has to do with. Let's flip the next card deck to see what that deck has to say. And I will be using my card deck. This card. This card is a card of hope. I'm getting two messages here. Do you see the two snakes, cobras, coming out of the third eye here? This is a wish fulfillment type card. This is a card where you're either in a relationship with someone or you're hoping for that special relationship with somebody. But listen, I know this is going to trigger some people, okay? But you've got to focus on this. You've got to make some sort of dietary change, incorporate an exercise routine into your diet. Nothing major. Walking. Start off with 1/4 mile a day. Then work up to 1/2 mile. Then work up to a mile. Okay? Because this card is telling me that this is what you want, or this is what you have, but it has stagnated. Yes, there's a commitment here. Okay? You be the example in your relationship. And once you start to take action here, your partner's going to want to take walks with you. Your partner's going to want to eat differently. The two of you are going to become healthier. The two of you are going to become happier. The two of you are going to have more sex. Okay? And I hope YouTube doesn't censor this, because this channel is not for kids, but this is meant for a healthy, cosmic, spiritual relationship. That part, that union in your committed relationship is important. And if it's not happening, then there are changes that need to be made. On the other message, for those of you that are looking for that perfect person, you need to kind of step out of the box that you've been living in. You're not happy there. You've got to make some changes. And you've got to start with yourself. Now, when I say you've gotta or you should, take that with a grain of salt. I'm being strong because the message is very strong. God loves you anyway. The right people are going to come to you anyway. But you can step up your game and you can make the necessary changes for yourself, because you're not happy where you are, either in a committed relationship or looking for that committed relationship. Okay, pile number 1. Let's see what the fairies have to say, and the next 2 decks are all going to be all about cosmic. Interesting that when I picked up the pile, I left 2 cards at the bottom. Spirit, should I read these cards? Let's ask my pendulum. Archangel Michael, please clear, cleanse, balance, and align this pendulum now. Should I read these 2 cards for pile number 1? Whoa, that's a definite yes. Okay, here we go. You get 2 cards. Let's take the one on the top. go vegetarian. Go vegetarian. The thing about being a vegetarian, and I was a vegetarian for 4 years, you have got to learn how to add protein into your diet. It's very important. So I used to make protein meats from legumes, and I used to buy vegetarian protein meats. Yes, they were canned, but I used to put them in gravies and things like that and serve them over, pasta. I used to eat pasta, but I tried not to eat a lot of it. So you might be called, pile number one, to become vegetarian. But before you delve into that, do your research. Drink protein drinks in the morning. You got to get your protein every single day. I am not saying to eliminate dairy here. I'm not saying that, but, follow your intuition. Let's see what the next card, the fairies, are telling you. Okay, this is right along with the hope card. Your desire is within reach. So many intuitive, Violet is coming out very strongly in your reading today. So use your intuition, use your better judgment. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. So if you make the intuitive decision to make this change for yourself, the universe is going to conspire to help you. And with the proper intention and motives behind making this change, you can rest in that. You don't need to get all worked up like, I'm going to start tomorrow. Let it unfold naturally. But for your own health and wholeness, this is very important. I'm going to use the Archangel Metatron deck right now. And for those of you that get really nervous about Archangel Metatron, I remember when I first started working with Metatron, I was like, this just seems weird. Because Metatron almost sounds like one of those futuristic robotic kid movies. This card fell out. Metatron is a more, modern name. If you go way, way back to rabbinic times, Metatron is actually Enoch when Enoch transmuted from earth and became an angel. He was given this name, and it wasn't Metatron. It sounded in different versions. Metatron, Metatron, Metatron. I could be butchering that, but look it up. Okay, go to Google and look it up. Metatron is the archangel that was a human being first, that lived the life that, Enoch lived that life. And God said, I'm taking you, and I'm going to turn you from human form into an angel. So if anybody understands humanity, it's Metatron. Okay, did I not get this card for you? Not tell you. I didn't read anything else about this card. Nothing. I talked specifically about the relationships in two veins. Metatron is telling you that your key to freedom in this relationship is to let go of codependency. I'm sorry about my ring light. Let go of codependency. Codependency is keeping you stuck. If your husband likes to sit, or partner, I like to speak of committed relationships because I believe that committed relationships are a higher level of spiritual, cosmic relationships. So if your husband is sitting at night, sucking down the chips and the crackers and the cheese, and he wants you to do that with him, and you do it because you want to be close, you're not supposed to do it. Just say, no, thank you, honey. I'll make you a plate. And as you begin to change these habits of codependency, I'm using that as an example, the person you're living with is either going to follow suit or not. Or perhaps they're going to mull it over for a while. But the polarity is doing it or not doing it. And it could have to do with, smoking or going out on the weekends drinking or whatever it is. Beer. Beer is so fattening. I like a cold beer every now and then, but it's very fattening, even if you drink the light beer. There's carbs in it. The codependency, you have the key to unlock this codependency. Notice that it's written in the purple here. Okay? Yes, you have a relationship. Yes, you love. But you are your own individual, unique person that needs to be able to move away from that ball and chain, that lock. And I'm speaking to a demographic of you out there. It's really hard to do, particularly if you don't want to step on anybody's toes. So you start small and you make your changes small. Okay, the last reading card deck is with the Cosmic Oracle. This is it. This is the perfect card. The Six of Cups for you. You feel lost. Because when the two of you first got together, or when you were single, you were so happy. You liked your weight. You liked putting yourself out there. You liked being engaged with other people. But you met your person, you got married, you got committed, and things started to go. I'm guesstimating it's been 15 to 20 years for you. And you're in a frump. Six of Cups. I remember and treasure past experiences. You're remembering. You're remembering now, and you're dredging up all this stuff, and you've lost a lot of it. But only you can change this. Only you can make these changes. And as you become healthy, and as you begin to clear out all of this accumulated codependency, and by the way, codependency can creep up on you too, particularly if you've been born into a codependent family, where you everybody's sucking on the mother's teat. Okay? Or perhaps it's somebody in the family that is the strongest and they kind of take over. You're an individual first. You're an individual first. Step out of that slowly but surely. Begin to make slow changes. You don't want to do what I did. You don't want to be the apple that falls off the cart and just kind of keeps rolling. That upsets the whole apple cart. Once I learned the art of allowing slow changes, everybody around me was much better with it. Okay, pile number 1, that is your reading. Thank you for stopping by today. You are so loved by the universe. You're not doing anything wrong. Life happens. But now, moving forward, allow life to happen for you, not to you. Namaste. Okay, let's move on to pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2. What is the change for you coming up? What does pile number 2 need to know right now? Is this 2 cards? Moving. Pile number 2, you are going to be moving. Also, 2 messages here. I'm hearing 2 messages. For some reason, 2 has been my number lately. Today, number 5 change. You are going to be moving. I believe this card came up last week. This is for pile number 2. Either you're going to be moving into a much happier place in your life, or you're going to be moving from the home that you're in to another house, to another state. You know what? See what's happening to my camera? It's changing colors. I don't know why. I have no idea. When I look at my camera, see it change? When I look at my camera, my light stays the same behind my ring light. I believe that this is energy. And I called upon Metatron to help with this reading. You are going to be moving. Now, some of you are going to be forced out of where you're living right now. And it's going to be a difficult situation for you. I'm not going to lie. You're being forced out. Either you're going to be evicted, or you're going to be told you have to move because, or you're choosing to move because your landlord is raising your rates, or now is the time to move to get the most for your house, if you own a home. Others, very strongly, you're moving because of your job opportunity. And this is a very positive move, by the way. Both are positive moves. But this one particularly is a positive move. Very dense, low energy where you've been living. Very positive, high energy, job-wise, and also where you're moving into. This is the change that you are going to be experiencing. Let's see what's happening with this change. I'm getting with the people that are going to be forced to move for whatever reason. I don't want you to feel bad, because you did not create this situation. You did not create it. The 3 C's. You did not create this situation. You cannot control this situation, and only you can change it. Only you can change it. Okay. So you're being asked to search within. This card has to do with the rolling waves. So you're on a boat and you're out in the ocean and a storm comes in and you're rowing and you're rowing and you're rowing against the waves because you're supposed to be going in that direction, or at least you think so. Turn the boat around and row with the waves. Row with the waves. Allow the waves to push you in the direction that you need to flow. You're bucking the waves. You're bucking this change. You don't want this change. You like the comfort of your life, the ease of your life where it is right now. But in order for you to move to the next level, the next job level, the next spiritual level as far as energy goes, moving into a more nature-based area where it's not so congested, you need to be able to make this change, and it's not easy. So take the first step. Start looking. Okay? Start applying. Some days it is important to not react to life's handouts. What did I say? You didn't cause it. Watch your life from a distance like a movie screen. Playing the part of it can be too painful. You're not being asked to run away from it. You're being asked to observe it. In times like these, just flow with it. You can't control it, but you can change it. Life will become more peaceful, and you will feel lighter as you search within yourself for the answers that you seek. And miraculously, a job will unfold, a place to live will unfold, and it's not even going to be what you expected up here. Let's see what the fairies have to say. You know, the fairies are so amazing. They are so... I love working with the fairies. I love working with that dimension. Because the fairies fly from the earth, from 3D to 5D. They kind of live in 4D. You know, they like to bounce. And my connection with the fairies is so strong. And they always provide me with the answers that I seek. Always. And they left another card. And I did not shuffle this deck from the last deck. So, let me ask the fairies if I'm supposed to read this same card for pile number 2. So, shall I read this card for pile number 2 as well? Yes, and I did not shuffle this deck. So that was easy. Same card. Your desire is within reach. Everything is working out in your favor. You didn't create it. You can't control it. And you're the only one that can change it. And I'm putting this card in the middle of the deck just to make sure in case it comes up again. There's your answer, pile number 2. Let's move on to Archangel Metatron and see what he has to say for pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2, I'm getting that you're not being evicted. It's just too expensive to live where you are. If you have an apartment. If you own a home, it's not that it's expensive, but you need to downsize. One more shuffle. Oh my God. This is perfect. Yin and yang. Balance is needed in this situation. You're out of balance. Your finances are out of balance. You are out of balance. Your job is out of balance. You're looking for the perfect job. Everything is out of balance right now. And the number 2, duality, okay, I keep getting that. You're looking at everything in black and white. But not everything is black and white. There are in-between times, like where the fairies live in the middle. You're looking for the perfect job, for the perfect place to live, for the perfect circumstance, for the perfect everything. And your mind and your body and everything is off balance. You've got to give a little bit. You're not flowing. If a job comes up for you and the money is good and it's going to get you out of the situation that you're in, you take that job. You might not necessarily like it at first. You might be biting your lips or your tongue, but it's going to get you out of the spot that you're in into a better spot where you can make another change. Change your perspective, pile number 2. You are living too much in duality. Fairies want you to move out of that. Change your perspective. Thank you, Archangel Metatron. That's perfect for pile number 2. Perfect. I'm not going to read any more on that card. And the same goes for relationship, pile number 2. If if you keep stumbling on these failed relationships, it's because of the black and white. You need somebody that's going to balance out your energy some. Okay? And they're not going to be a person that you would expect. Like, they might need to tell you, they might trigger you a little bit. But it's good for you. Pile number 2. Relationships are not perfect. Let go of that perfection. And this is the outcome, I would have to say. 7 of Swords. I take a great care of what I value. The 7 of Swords is such an important card because you've been putting so much emphasis on what it is that you want, and not enough focus and emphasis on what you need to be a complete whole human being. And if that means you need to downsize, right, let go of the big house, sell it, then that's what you need to do. If you need to let go of some of your things in order to live a richer, happier, spiritual, less dense life, then that's what you need to do. If you need to get out of that apartment that's soaking your finances dry and look for a more efficient, smaller apartment, then that's what you need to do. And job-wise, if your job is not bringing you in the money that you need, you might need to take a job that don't necessarily, you're being stubborn. You're being stubborn. You need the money, you need the benefits, you need the stability, and you need balance. Pile number 2. Perfect card. I take great care of what I value. But the imbalance here is taking so much care of what you value that you're missing the greater picture. And you're stuck in these swords. You're stuck in them. Pile number 2. Go with the flow. You're going to be okay. Doesn't seem like it right now, but you're going to be okay. You really are. Thank you for being here today. And I send you positive blessings. Your affirmation is, didn't get this for pile number 1, but I'm getting it for pile number 2. Because this was a really strong reading. I am capable of creating the life that is best for me. Namaste. Okay, pile number 3. Time for your reading. Let's start with the Butterfly Oracle. My dog is at my feet. Just ignore him. My little Teddy. This is a hard one. I think I'm going to take the one that fell on the top. Pile number 3, prenatal care. No, not prenatal. Parental care. Wow. Wow. Thank you. 2 messages. Some of you are expecting a child. And if you're not expecting a child, the child is coming to you very soon. I would say within the next 3 to 6 months. More like 3. You're going to find out you're pregnant. Just take good prenatal care. I feel like you are older, not younger. I feel like you are in your 30s. You've been wanting a baby or another baby, and it hasn't been happening. This reading can be for you. The parental care is like taking care of a child. Parental care. Some of you are taking care of your parents. They're in their 80s, 90s. They might have dementia, Alzheimer's. They're stuck in their ways, if they don't have these. Or they are incapable of movement, and it's like taking care of a child. My heart goes out to you if that's the case, because that is a very difficult situation to be in. If you cannot get outside care and help for this parent of yours or person that you consider a parent, I would join a group that can help you, give you the support that you need. But I'm feeling like this is becoming very difficult for you. And you do not want to age yourself 20 years in a year. So allow people to come in and alleviate some of the burden, or put your parent in like a senior daycare for a day or two during the week, or perhaps you're going to have to think about putting them into a nursing home. And I know that's very difficult. So if you're pregnant or you're trying to have a baby, yes, the baby is coming. And if you're taking care of a parent, it's like taking care of a baby. That is the first card today. Let's see what the second card has to do for you, pile number 3. I'm making that face because of my dog. 3 cards fell out. I'm not going to take them. That's too many cards. Using my deck right now. Oh, this card right here. Yep. Perfect card. Perfect card. Negative space. Negative space is that space in between. It's not polarity, black and white. It's the space in between. It's the negative space. Negative space in art means like looking at a still life from the outside all around, not the actual pieces. So what is the shape around the actual? What is happening around the actual? That's what this is about. Negative spaces are the gray times. They are not black or white. They are the times in between jobs, children, homes, emotions, seasons, and health, to name a few. These times are most important because these times are where growth takes place. Everybody wants to know. People that are in those dark times, they want out of that. And the people that are in the gray times, they want into the white times. They want the positive. The dark times, they don't want to, they want out. And I get it. Believe me, I get it. You can't force that. You cannot force that. You can do the work and you can allow it, but you can't force it. Anything that has to do with grief or being in that stuck space where you want to see changes happen today, it doesn't happen that way. And then the gray times are those times of indecision, or not knowing where you're going to be, or not knowing where you're going to, or maybe you're in like this really difficult spot, like where you're stuck and you can't move to the left or the right. Maybe you've been wanting a baby. You have a child and you've been wanting another child for so long, or you've just been wanting a child. Or maybe you've just taken your parent into your home and you're 6 months in and you're like, I can't do this. I need some help. These are the times of growth. And healing is on its way. Healing is on its way. The daisy is this, well, actually, this is a guide here. But it looks like a daisy, and since I thought about daisy, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go with it. Daisies are, daisies are an in-between flower. Daisies come out in the spring and they kind of stay into the summer. They're between winter and fall. That's where you are right now. Can't force the change, but you're being asked to go with it, flow with it, similar to pile number 2. But you're also asked to become aware of the space that you're in and make that change for yourself. It's a flip of the mindset. It's a flip of the mindset, okay? A baby is coming. Baby is coming, right? Let go of it. Let go of that, I want a baby, I want a baby, I want a baby. There is a woman that I know, and she had wanted a baby for so long. She had 2 children, and she tried. She kept trying to have a third, and she finally gave up. And I ran into her in the grocery store, and I looked at her and I said, "What are you up to?" She's like, I'm like, no baby, no. And I want to feel like she was 5 years in. She went back to work. And I looked at her and I said, "Oh, you went back to work. You just kind of, that was it. You figured you're not going to have another baby. You went back. You're going to find out you're pregnant. You wait 6 months from now, you're going to find out you're pregnant." And we know each other. This was long before I was reading cards. And guess what? Ran into her. A few months later, she was pregnant. And I ran into her and she had a belly, and I'm like, what? So that's what I'm talking about. And as for taking care of your parents, it's the same kind of deal. You need some time for yourself to let go of having to take care of them all the time. Okay, let's see what the fairies have to say. The answer to your question involves your daughter. Involves your daughter. Your daughter wants you to have a baby. Your daughter wants you to have a baby. And if your daughter is older, ask your daughter to come in and help you take care of her grandparents, her grandparent. There's a connection here that needs to be formed before they transition off this planet. Your daughter. The answer to your question involves your daughter. I'm not going to say any more here. Is your daughter a home health care person? Working per diem? Ask her to help alleviate you. Pay her. Pay her. She's going to take time out of her schedule to help you. Okay? Let's see what Archangel Metatron has to say about this situation. I was just going to say, pile number 3, this reading is very cut and dry, but that's a black and white saying. It really isn't cut and dry, because you're the one that has to make these changes. You're the one that has to do the inner work. This reading is a wake-up call. This reading is a wake-up call for you to search within and get in touch with yourself. Actually, it's not just a wake-up call. It's you making a call. It's you making a call. Listen and take note. If you're having infertility issues, make that call. Make that call. If you want to have a and your daughter wants you to have another baby, maybe she's 4 or 5, and she wants a little baby brother or sister, make that call. Talk to your partner about this. And maybe he secretly wants a son. And if you're taking care of your parents, make that call for help. You're too stressed out right now. You're too stressed out. Use your intuition around all of this. That simply means taking some time away and listening to your thoughts, gathering your thoughts. Write them down on paper. See which ones jump out. I'm sorry about my dog, but I can't get up right now. Literally, I've got cards all over my board here. Okay? So he's not going to stop doing this. This is something that he started doing about within the last 3 months. So, we're just going with it, and just ignore it. Look I didn't have to shuffle this. Thank you so much, Spirit, because I was busy talking about my dog, and our guides, our spirit family, the angels, God, our cosmic family, they know what's going on in our lives. They know I'm doing this reading, but they pull the card for me. All right. Some of you here are placing way too much judgment on yourself. If you're not able to get pregnant, is there something wrong with me? If you are taking care of your elderly parents and you want to be relieved of these duties, there's something wrong with me. There's guilt. Let go of this judgment and start having a little bit of compassion for yourself. A little bit of compassion for yourself. Notice this angel is also holding a trumpet. So you need to make that call. And when you do, there's healing here. There's healing. So if you are trying to get pregnant and it's not happening for you, then perhaps you need to see a therapist to get your mind straight on this, or make the call, to an infertility clinic, or just go and get right with your own mindset. Let it go. Let it happen. Stop taking your temperature. Stop worrying so much about when it's going to happen. And it'll happen. And it'll happen. I'm being called with this particular pile number 3 to cut the deck and look at the next 2 cards, because kind of an intense reading. So let me cut the deck. Yep, absolutely. 9 of Swords. Number 9, 9 of Swords. I trust the present moment. I trust what's happening right now in the present moment. I'm going to make that call for my own compassion, for myself, and everybody else around me. Three of Wands. I have the energy that I need to complete this. The yellow for the solar plexus. I have the energy that I need to do this, to complete this, to feel this, to be much more in a balanced state in my life, and to have compassion for myself and for my little family. And 3 is an angelic number. So the angels are also telling you as well. These are the readings for today, for this weekend, and into next week. I wish you all so much love, joy, peace, contentment, happiness. And above all, serenity in your circumstances. Till we meet again. Blessings to you all. Thank you, pile number 3 too. Namaste.